everybody. Thanks, Al.
Hi, Al. You made it.
We'll wait a minute or so, see before we get started to see if anybody else joins.
Why's our TV on?
It's showing our recorded live stream.
Oh, look at that. Can I click on it now?
Yeah, just mute it though. So how's everybody doing?
You all ready for Christmas? Shopping done? Did you do shopping at all?
Are you going to brave going out shopping? I'm not seeing any chats yet.
Why am I?
There we go. Mike, I totally agree. Things are always better when you're not at work.
Are only 25% of the video poker machines available? No, they were all available everywhere we went.
Well, unless you were at a property where they had every other machine turned off, and that's usually the M Life properties. Caesars generally has all their machines turned on, and the same way down on Fremont. Yeah, we didn't see anything like that. Where at most you'd probably see, maybe 50% if every other one was turned off. That's really blowing you out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Greetings, Mike.
Hey, Mike, Louisville.
You might want to turn that brightness down a little bit if
I
you
don't
can.
know how.
So anyway, we got back. Of course, I think a lot of you know we just got back from Vegas on Friday night. Took about 2 days to recover, as it usually does because we run ourselves ragged. This was the fourth time we had been there since August. August was the first time we had been back. Hey, Jason. Oh, heading out there on May 21st. Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, JR. We did have a good trip. So hopefully some of the stuff we're going to tell you tonight will help you out and at least get you prepared if you haven't been out there this fall so far. So after we got back, or while we were out there during our trip in August, we recorded a video about just some observations we had seen, since the reopening. And then we went back in September and things had changed again. And then I was out there in October, didn't actually make it out to the strip then. And now we've been back in December and things are definitely different now than they were back in August and September. When we went in August, of course, we told you then it was kind of a strange vibe. I think that's really just people were kind of learning how to be there with not everything available to do. September was, I think we were both a little bit shocked with how crowded it was. And even kind of a party atmosphere in some spots. Going for the first time this year on
And staying
26.
in Aria. That's nice. Nice rooms. You'll enjoy that.
Yeah. This month or this past week, I think reality is kind of catching up with what's been going on and the way things are in Vegas right now. It's always a slow time of year in Vegas in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It was very slow. You had a couple of casinos that were moderately busy most of the time, that being like Cosmopolitan and Bellagio. But there were other casinos that were just ghost towns, no matter what time of the day you went in. Hey, Gambling Granny, thanks for being here. In particular, like the Mirage. We went in there a couple different times. Granted, the hotel is closed during the week, but the casino, there was nobody in there at all. Walking the strip early in the mornings, it was like everything was shut down again. There are very few people there right now. There were only what, 16 people on our return flight home.
Yeah.
The plane
I've
was
never seen a plane
empty.
like that. It was crazy.
So we just wanted to run through the list of things we noticed this past August and kind of compare it to the way things are right now. And number one on our list was the lack of things to do if you don't gamble. Mike, we usually fly Delta, and we try to get a direct flight out of Cincinnati. It's it's about an hour away from us, but having that direct flight is so much better than having to mess with a connecting, which is usually either through Atlanta or Detroit. So we prefer the direct flight though, but this is the first time it hasn't been canceled since this whole thing started. Yeah, Southwest is nice, but the closest place Southwest flies for us is out of Louisville, and we generally don't fly out of Louisville for much.
Yeah, I think it's a little more expensive, but JR Food and Travels, yes, it was so awesome, that flight. I mean, I think all of the flights we've had during COVID, I've felt that there were too many people on the flights. Even though they're blocking off the middle seats, if I'm sitting in an aisle, someone's sitting in an aisle right next to me, that's like a foot. I never could understand. Even when the flights weren't full, it didn't seem like they really spaced people out. I feel like they could kind of move people around after the fact, but they never seemed to do that. Even with 16 people on the flight, and it was a big plane, wasn't a tiny one, there was a couple in like one row ahead of us, not directly, but there was one space in between, and I thought that was just too close. But of course, I moved away from Chris and got my own row and slept for a while because I was just wrecked. But that's like the first time I ever remember being able to have my own row and just lounge. It was awesome.
Yeah, Gigi, Fremont was now granted we were there on a Monday in the morning, and it was pretty slow.
It's usually slow when we go though, because, we're early birds and we like to beat the crowds anywhere we go. So that's like a typical experience for us at Fremont. We did go like once or twice on a first Friday, before COVID, and that can get really crowded.
Yeah, yeah, but in addition to like Bellagio and Cosmo being consistently, I won't say packed. Neither one of them ever felt really packed, except maybe a couple of times. The casinos that had kind of normal sized crowds were the local spots. We were lucky enough to go out to Sunset Station with Alan from Las Vegas and beyond, and then also to Green Valley Ranch, and those places were kind of hopping. And then Ellis Island.
Too much for Chris to handle
we
there.
all right. Well, to be fair, we made reservations at Ellis Island Barbecue to check it out, and we will have a video coming out about that. So stay tuned for it. And the intention was to eat and then play a little bit. That place was absolutely packed to the point where I just didn't feel safe.
Because it's really small too. I mean,
Yeah.
when the bigger casinos get packed, you can kind of move around, but there's nowhere for anyone to go. I mean, at least every other machine was taken,
And that was it.
yeah.
That was in between like 4 and 5:30 on was that a Wednesday?
I have no idea. I think when we kept canceling our reservations and rescheduling, so I think we wound up there on a Wednesday or Thursday.
So
yeah.
middle of the week, end of the workday, and it was packed. We have never played Fortune Cup. I've thought about it a couple of times, but no, I've
Fortune
never
Cup.
played. That's the horse
The horse?
racing.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness! But there were some people playing that at Treasure Island.
Oh, they were having a good
We were
old
like the
time.
only people there. It was so quiet, but there was a bunch of people playing that game, and they were enjoying themselves. Let's just say that.
Yes, they were.
We definitely knew which numbers they were rooting for.
So, number 3 on our August list, one of the things we had noticed was that there were more homeless people on the strip. I don't think it was any more
Oh, I think there were more
than
this
it was
time.
before.
I feel like there were more this time.
They were more grouped together. And I will say, because of the lack of visitors on the strip, that a couple of them who asked us for stuff got pretty aggressive about it. And really kind of, I mean, it was kind of rude. Like we were having conversations with other people and they were just butting in and just, it was kind of awkward, you know, and normally they're just asking you as you're passing by or that was definitely different. One of the other things we noticed in August were, you know, they weren't really cleaning the sidewalks that much in the mornings. Yeah, we're getting to that one, Mike. There were really only a couple of spots where it was super dirty, and that was in front of the CVS there at Bally's, in front of the bazaar shops. And that was first thing in the morning. It's like people set up a party out in front of it and just left their garbage there.
There had to be a party. I've never seen so many bottles, like empty glass bottles in
Yeah.
one location ever in all of our years of going.
Piled like a foot high.
It was, I don't know what it is about the CVS. Is that a big party draw? Do you guys like hanging out at the CVS? That was never a thing for me, so I don't know.
So yeah, I saw the scooter question. Mike, scooters were a huge problem in August. Not for, and I'm not talking about for the people who actually need them for mobility, but they were being rented out in bulk just for people to use for joyriding. A huge problem in August, still a problem September. They were nowhere to be seen in December.
I think I saw 2 the whole trip, and well, I saw 3. 2, they were questionable, but they were being responsible drivers, and 1, you know, probably needed it. So, yeah. The CVS is by the Bally's, right
Yeah,
there
CVS is by
next to the bazaar
Bally's
shops.
and in between the bazaar shops in Paris.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you do number 2?
yeah,
Oh,
I did.
he's just walking right through them. He's not letting me say anything.
No, Al, don't
No,
get us wrong.
no. This was a really, really enjoyable trip. I mean, I didn't even remember Chris saying anything about the vibe, but if you watched our other video, that was like the main thing is it was just a strange vibe, and that was not the case this time. Like I didn't let the woman talk. Thanks, Nick. I didn't really encounter any mean or angry people. I mean, there was, you know, every once in a while there'd be a couple arguing and fighting in a casino, but nothing out of the ordinary. Like you didn't walk around feeling like, oh my God, you know, you have to be vigilant. You have to watch every single thing because a fight could break out any moment. That was not the case this trip. I felt much safer. It was relaxing just to walk places because you weren't constantly on edge. So yeah, the vibe is gone. The bad vibe is gone and the good vibes are back. So
I wouldn't go that far.
oh, come on.
It's good in spots, but there is something a little bit sad about looking out the fountains at night going off and there's really nobody there to see them. It's a little bizarre. But yeah, I think the only time we really felt unsafe was either really late at night because people just weren't out walking the strip that much. They'd be in the casinos, but you could be out on the strip by yourself and not see anyone for several minutes. And that was, I would say, if you're going to be out either really early or super late or somewhere in between, just be aware of your surroundings and you'll be fine.
And if you have the option not to go alone, I wouldn't go alone.
Yeah. Yeah. should definitely have someone with you or walk really closely to somebody else who looks safe. And that brings us to number 6, which is really, I think, the biggest challenge.
You missed 5.
Go for it.
Unhappy employees. I didn't see any either. A couple times on the trips previous, I felt like sometimes they didn't really want us there. We had the occasional really, really nasty waitress, especially at Bellagio. We got her like twice in a row. She was so mean to us. Like, I don't know what was going on, but we had a very awesome waitress this time. She was bubbly and friendly, and she just made us want to lose all our money and not care. And that's what we did.
Yeah, I agree. They're still walking around policing, you know, your mask and stuff like that, but it's not as, they really don't, it just wasn't as constant, I don't think, as it was in
No,
August.
I don't feel like they were as strict with anything this time around. I don't feel like there were, and it could just be because there were fewer people that they had to worry about, that they kind of relaxed a little bit about it. But yeah, they weren't constantly on top of us. I've had experiences where I'm sitting at a slot machine and like a woman is just walking back and forth like a worker, kind of just like scoping me out. I don't know if I look super suspicious or whatever, but I don't know. People just tend to monitor me heavily.
You're shady.
I am shady.
Are we back in Kentucky? Yes, we are.
We are.
Steven. Did we check out Circa? Yes, we did go to Circa when we were down on Fremont. It's nice. It's nice and shiny
It's huge.
and humongous.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, they have like all these levels where there are 3 levels at least.
At least
We just
3.
kept going up when we
Yeah.
were getting everything looked the same. Like we'd go up a level and be like, weren't we just here? But it's a totally different level. Super awesome. I really liked that. We only stayed and played we played Cash Wizard World and we played all 4 of them. It was awesome. But we didn't spend a whole lot of time in there because we were kind of like at the end of our, we were ready to go back to the strip. So we didn't spend a lot of time in there, but it is a fancy, fancy place.
Yeah, it is bright and shiny, that's for sure. And that brings us to perhaps the biggest challenge right now in Vegas, and that is food. If you have travel plans to Vegas right now, I can't speak for what's going to be like, next month or anything, you need to plan in advance. Any place that's full service or has table service, they are at 25% capacity, and you have to have reservations.
Yeah, they were actually turning people away. Like we had reservations at the barbecue place in Ellis Island, and a lot of people showed up without reservations, and they were turning them away. So I also saw the same thing at Hash House A Go-Go. I think generally, if you go up there without a reservation, they will assist you in making one. But there's no guarantee. I mean, neither of those places actually had availability at the time those people were trying. So.
And another thing to take note of is if you are going out there making reservations, let's say on an app like OpenTable, you need to make sure that the restaurant is actually going to be open at that time. Because just because it says that reservation is available on OpenTable doesn't necessarily mean that the restaurant is open. We experienced that at Cheo. We tried to go there for breakfast. Cheo is there in the Link Promenade. And we made reservations for 8 a.m. And guess what? They don't open till 9. And there was no signage anywhere. So Catherine was just kind of knocking on the door trying to get someone's attention. And so I would recommend if you make the reservation, call the restaurant too, just to double check their hours, because so many places are operating at odd hours anyway.
Yeah, a lot of the hours have changed from even our last trip. Hi, Mom. Thanks for watching from Hilton Head.
Oh yeah, Gordon Ramsay fish and chips. That's really good.
Gordon Ramsay. I keep wanting to go back there. It's such an easy thing to grab. There has been a line a couple times that we've tried to go, and we wind up just getting like in and out or something.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that is good. Do most hotels have full room service? We are too cheap. Correction, I am too cheap to order room service, so I have no idea. No, you shouldn't need reservations for Gordon Ramsay. I doubt they're letting anyone sit in there. You probably just have to take it to go. Any of the really small locations that, are better suited for takeout, they're going to be primarily takeout. They're not going to let you sit in there. Even the
And
pizza places, I mean, you can go, like we went to Pizza Cake, their counter service was discontinued, or their like little bar area where you could sit. We had to go all the way to the food court. So there's seating around that you can find, but it's probably not going to be in a small restaurant like that.
Al,
You're awesome.
a 1999 super chat from Al.
You're the sweetest.
You're the best, my friend.
All we wanted you to do was show up. You didn't have to pay us.
We're just happy you actually made it this time and caught it live. But thank you so much.
But we really missed you on our live slot play, man. I needed you there. I needed your moral support and your slot expertise. So definitely next time you're going to have to be there.
Let's see. Oh, Catherine kind of mentioned it. So yeah, if it is a place that does, like it's kind of a fast food place, the challenge is probably going to be finding a place to eat the food. Like Pizza Cake, we had to go find a place to sit. Even Secret Pizza, what little seating they did have in there, that's gone.
Yeah, they usually, like Secret Pizza, you could not eat in there at all. They had little signs up that said reserved for social distancing. So we had to just sit out, in the Cosmo lobby area where they have some seating. Was it by the lounge or that whatever lounge that was?
It was by Beauty and Essex.
Right. And I think the biggest issue that you'll have with places to sit and eat is going to be in the bazaar shops, like where our favorite Mediterranean places and the what's that other place? The ramen place and Dirt Dog, things like that. There's just those tables are so few and far between. And like we tried one time to sit at like this Hawaiian place. We were actually going to try them at some point, but they kicked us out of their tables. They said they were only for their customers, which I get, but like nobody was there. So I don't know why they couldn't have let us sit. It's really difficult to find seating in that area, especially when it's crowded, which it has been several times when we walked by. Luckily, when we went, it wasn't, and we were able to get a table.
Yeah, it's true.
I know we missed something.
When would we?
I want to go back.
Okay.
Chris gave me permission to go back in March or April. He said I can start looking, so I will start looking for March.
She makes me sound awful.
No, he's not awful. He just, I guess, has a job that's less flexible. I feel like I can just take off all the time.
See, my thing is, like, I have to go out to Vegas for work on occasion. And being able to work remotely is great, but I don't like to work when I'm in Las Vegas. So,
Mike.
let's see.
He's so funny.
Are the happy hours still open?
Granny, you were just there in October. Was I watching videos of you from the past? I swear I thought you were there while we were.
Drink services were pretty good, Dylan. They were, the one thing I will say is because they're, for the most part, they weren't real crowded in there. There was usually only one server for the entire floor throughout the day. So they were having to cover a lot of ground. Now this time was a little bit different. We weren't ordering as many drinks as we usually do because we were carrying our own.
Oh yeah, that's something we tried to do differently this time. We tried to buy a lot more alcohol so that we weren't relying. Actually, we were going to try not to order drinks at all, but that didn't really work out. We still ordered quite a few drinks, and I didn't really have anything to drink because I can't just drink stuff straight. I have to, and it's just such a pain to have to mix your stuff in your bag and everything. I tried that a little bit, but it didn't really work out. So, um,
Yeah, Mike, happy hours. I'm really not sure. Um,
we didn't really try. We didn't go. Honestly, we had like two real restaurant meals the entire trip. The rest was just like take it and go.
hmm.
It was such a quick trip for us that we just did not have time to be sitting at restaurants. More than ever, usually we'll wait and we'll starve and we'll be like, no, we gotta, eat a good meal. But we were just like eating stuff at like little cafes, or what are they called? Food counters, in the hotels, things that we wouldn't normally do. But you couldn't wait. If you had an opportunity to eat there this trip, you needed to just take the opportunity because you never know what was going to be open and available for you later on.
Can you scroll down some?
Yeah, I wanted to. Did you answer Kel about would we get the vaccine? We're in Kentucky, by the way, and I think they're starting today. Like, what did they say? 38,000.
Well, the first healthcare workers got the vaccinated or got the first vaccine shot today. Um, we will get it, but we're probably way down on the list of priorities. Um,
Speak for yourself there, buddy.
hey, I don't make the rules.
You can get it. No, you just said we will get it. I'm not getting it. I would wait a long time to make sure that it's safe and people aren't just dropping like flies. I'm scared of things like
Wait a
that.
second. Kel asked when we would go back. Which hotel? It's always Cosmo. Um, Restaurants. There were a few we were supposed to go to this trip, and it just did not happen. Like lemongrass, we were going to check that out at the Aria, and we just simply ran out of time. Diablo's at Mirage. We went to the Mirage twice, and not a single restaurant was open when we were there.
Yeah, even the all day, everyday restaurant,
Yeah.
like the 24/7 restaurant that we ate at last time, it wasn't open ever when we went there.
Now they might be open on the weekends when the hotel is actually open, but right now during the week there's nowhere to eat. In fact, there are several restaurants or restrooms that are closed there too.
Happy birthday soon, Mike. Chris's birthday is in 2 days, and mine's in January too, so we'll share our birthday.
JR, like a backpack of ice and beer? No, it's more like a backpack of water and vodka and bourbon and a couple of mixers.
No mixers for you. You don't do mixers.
No, I don't.
I tried a mixer. I tried like a sparkling water, lemon lime sparkling water this time because that's what I drink at home, and it was too hard to get the combination right.
Well, and we had a room at the Hilton Grand Vacations behind the Flamingo, so we were able to make our coffees in the morning with Bailey's. That's another thing. It's hard to find coffee in the morning. Is another trip where we got stopped. Someone would stop us walking down the strip asking where we got our coffee. So we were lucky. We were lucky as far as that goes. We would occasionally order a beer inside the casino, or Catherine would get like a White Russian or something, but.
Yeah. Every once in a while. No, all the time. It was coffee and Bailey's, no whip, White Russians, couple of Angry Orchards. I got a Stella Artois because I wanted the cider, and she brought me a regular beer, which it was gross.
Oh yeah, Mike, that happy hour at the Flamingo, I know what you're talking about. That was closed.
50-cent beer, yeah.
The Mirage lobby bar was closed because you can't even walk toward the front desk of the Mirage when it's closed during the week. You can only walk back through the casino.
Oh, yeah, they wouldn't even let me go to the restroom back there.
Yeah.
There's security guards right there. Do you eat at the buffets? Sometimes. I mean, we've been to pretty much all the buffets. Like one year, many years ago, we got that 24-hour buffet pass. Oh my God. Oh, that's just too much. Like, because I want to get my money's worth, and we didn't. You just can't. There's too many.
Oh, thanks, Janessa. Thanks for being here.
Mike, I'm the fifth. Am I older than you? Chris is older than me, so that's all I care about.
Let's see. One of the things we mentioned in August were like the inconsistent safety rules from property to property. I think at this point, everybody knows what's up. You wear a mask, and if you don't, you get hassled about it. And for the most part, everybody was complying. I mean, you still walk by people who were wearing the chin diapers and the human elephants, and but for the most part, people, unless they were actively eating or drinking, were wearing their masks. I felt like,
There were a few people
yeah,
that refused. And yeah, I don't know what their issues were, but they were addressed by the staff, but I think, and we've seen this in the past, is that the staff, they only go so far. They will not push people. They rarely call security. Even if security is called, like, you have to be making a pretty big stink to get kicked out. I mean, they're not going to escort you out, especially if you're putting money in machines. They're just, I mean, that's just my experience and what I've seen. They're not, they're just going to mumble under their breath and walk another way, pretty much. Ha ha, nice. Don't guess a woman's age. Smart man. When we stopped at the Cosmo, did we pay for the Fountain View? We do. The Fountain View was a $50 upgrade. Well, the room that we get, because I had 3 comps available, 3 comp nights with no resort fee. So got an amazing rate. It was $170 total for the 3 nights that we were there. But the Fountain View, the 1-bedroom Fountain View was a $50 upgrade for those 3 nights each. So really good deal.
Oh, Mike, you still have a ways to go. Stick around though. We'll welcome you to your 40s.
Thanks, Mom. Don't give my age away, please. We can keep that a secret.
One of the other things in August that was totally different was the coin shortage, the great coin shortage of 2020. So, do you want to explain that?
Yeah. So most of the places are giving me money now, which is awesome.
Coins.
Coins.
Yeah.
They're giving me coins. Not all of them, though.
And
Right.
what we mean by that, so if you go to a ticket redemption machine to cash out a ticket, in August, you were only getting the bills. You were never getting the coins. They would print out a separate ticket for the coins that you would have to then take to the cashier to get cashed out. Now, some of the ticket redemption machines are actually dispensing coins again, which is nice.
I'd even say most. Most of
Yeah.
them are giving you coins. It was Cosmo did not give you coins. Bellagio still wasn't giving coins. And there might have been one more, but most of them did, which was awesome. And I picked up like $5, I think, in people's spare coins that they couldn't cash out. So jackpot.
Oh, and somebody asked about us going out to some of the local casinos. I'll mention again, we were lucky enough to make it out to Sunset Station, Green Valley Ranch, and of course, Ellis Island is hard to classify as local because it is only in, a block behind the strip. We actually did pretty well at TI.
Thanks to Al. Yeah, because you told us to. And so we went and we did pretty well. I mean, truth be told, just, trying to find the games that you told us about at all of because we're just like, we're not going to pass a casino and not try it. We will go into every single casino we pass and try at least one machine. And we did that. And I haven't done the numbers yet, but I'd be willing to bet we won more on the games that you recommended than we did on anything else.
Yeah.
Video poker was super tight. I know everybody tells us stay away from video poker, but we're never going to because we love it and we don't care. We understand we're going to lose money. We just like to play. Red Rock, okay. If you can get out there, that's your favorite place. So Mark was the one who recommended us going to the local casinos. Do you have a favorite, Mark?
And thanks for the compliment, Mark. I missed that part. We appreciate
We're a
that.
great down to earth middle class. I will read that one happily. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, we really want to go out to Red Rock and hike
My
at
mom's
some
been
point.
to Red Rock. To a casino? Uh-uh. I don't believe that for a second, Mom.
Okay, so the other item on our list from August was, addressing whether or not we would recommend for a first timer to go to Vegas right now. We said we wouldn't recommend it back then. I definitely wouldn't recommend it right now. There are even fewer things to do right now because the majority of the pools are closed, and I wouldn't really want to be around a pool right now unless it was in the middle of the day and you were in the sun. If you were out in the sun in the middle of the day, it was really nice. In the shade, it was pretty cool. But with the pools being closed, the day clubs and stuff, there's just not a lot for a first timer to do other than gamble.
I'm going to disagree. And here's why. It really depends on what you're going to do. Because, it's Christmas. You can walk around and see the decorations. Those are always going to be open and available to you. The fountain show's available, the high rollers available. And with the reduced crowds, you can kind of really take your time and see things and not be overwhelmed with the crowds. Unless you're young and you like the crowds and the noise and all of that, then maybe it's not a good time to go for your first time. But I don't know. I don't know. I just really enjoy it when it's not super crowded. So it was a perfect time for us to go. I wouldn't want to discourage anyone from doing that.
Oh, it was great for us. Yeah.
And if especially if you're a planner and you can make reservations, that we're not good at doing that. But if you can make reservations, you could probably have your pick at all the restaurants with very few crowds. If you planned it like before you went even.
Nick, we did not go see the pool at Circa. We have seen video of it on property tours, but we were kind of done with Fremont at that point, and our room was waiting for us back at the Cosmo, so we were pretty eager to get back to the Strip. But we stopped at every casino except the Plaza and
Oh my
and the
goodness.
Downtown Grand. We didn't go there either. But we gambled everywhere else.
We did? Oh.
Transportation, we only used Lyft this time.
And Alan.
And Alan from Las Vegas and beyond. If you're not subscribed to him, go do that. I know back in August, Lyft and Uber were kind of hit and miss. Like there weren't a lot of drivers. And sometimes if you could book a ride, they would cancel on you. I know when we pulled up the app one time, like there were no drivers available anywhere for a pickup. This time we used Lyft from the airport to
And
the
it
hotel.
said it was going to be like 15 minutes, but the guy was
He was
waiting
already
on
there.
us. Yeah.
And then we used it from the Strip to Fremont, from Fremont back to the Strip, and then from the Strip to the airport. And we had no problem at all. Why don't you talk about the price difference between Lyft and a taxi, though?
Oh, so from the airport where we were going at the Flamingo, it was like a $12 base fare price difference, so not including your taxes. So the difference between $15 and $27, I think, which was the base fare. What do they call it? The flat rate that
Flat
they're
rate,
charging you
yeah.
now. So
Oh, good, Julie.
awesome, Julie. Thanks for the compliment earlier. I don't think either of us got to address that when you did it. But yeah, the lifts, and we had some pretty good conversations with our Lyft drivers. We had a guy who was a headliner actually at one of the entertainment shows. He was a magician.
At Tropicana.
Yeah, and he was, he said he didn't have any money from the stimulus or whatever, unemployment or anything. So he was driving a Lyft and hopefully doing okay. He's starting a channel, so maybe sometime we'll get on and promote him. super nice guy.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what his name was. I think it was Alejandro.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll look that up and do something about it later. But the Lyft drivers, for the most part, said it was very, very slow. Like, whereas in the past, even just a couple months ago, they would have a ride lined up. As soon as they were finished, they would have another one. But this time around here in December, they're waiting like 20 minutes in between rides. So that can really cut into their profits. So yeah, if you can take a Lyft,
And
tip
definitely
those
cheaper
guys
than
well.
yeah, definitely cheaper than the taxi. We did not take the bus this time. We just didn't want to mess with it, really. So, and we didn't take the taxi, so
Yeah.
can't really make that comparison. Al, how much money do we make from this channel?
None.
Uh,
We're just really starting, and you can't. I mean, if you're not really familiar with YouTube and how it works, Al, you can't even start making money really until you hit 1,000 subscribers, which we just did. What, in August? I think
September.
September. Okay, so our September trip. So we're just a couple months in, and we're not. We both work full time, so we don't have a whole lot of time to do the things that we really need to do to make money, unfortunately. But eventually I'm planning on maybe during the Christmas break, maybe I'll look at our website again. I keep saying that. I've been saying that like every day for a year, and it just doesn't happen. Hey, if anyone knows anyone out of work that knows how to do websites and wants to walk me through that WordPress stuff, I will pay them. I will pay them. That's not a joke either, because I've been looking for like freelance, on those websites of people just out of college and stuff that will help.
Oh, thanks, Steven. We appreciate the like.
What is that? Oh, is that just the name? Art Lucky Money Magnet? Oh, I would like to be a money magnet. I would really like to be one. Not happened yet.
So where do you think we had the most luck? What were your top 3 luckiest casinos for us?
Well, I'm telling you, Al, Treasure Island, that is like my new favorite right now. I'm really disappointed that we didn't get to spend more time there. I wish that we had spoken to you and some of the other subscribers earlier on in the trip or before. And Chris and I were even talking about if anyone's interested in letting us interview you like on Zoom and posting it for our channel. I really want to go deeper into how you gamble and what makes you so successful gambling, because we haven't found the right combination of things. We feel like every time we do it, we get better, but clearly we don't really know anything, because just taking one little piece of information from you like turned things around. I think so. Like I don't even know how in the world we won. And our winning isn't like your winning. When we win, it's not going to be thousands of dollars like you see on all the other YouTube channels. That just never happens to us. I mean, we've been gambling for what, 10 years? It's never happened. Like Chris's $500 win was the biggest by far, like by a lot, right? So I think like the only thing we ever win on is like if we get a 4 of a kind aces, right? Because that's like $100 or something.
Oh, hey, Eli. How you doing, bud?
Hey, Eli.
Mike, we might very well do that. A meet and greet in Vegas. There are lots of people we'd like to meet up with. It's just happening to be there at the same time, I think. We did meet up with, I don't know if anybody follows Alice in Casino Land. She lives just a state over. I won't say near us. It's
Near
but
enough.
it's close enough. And we met up with her one night.
Super nice lady.
Yeah.
You'll see some video of that because we did some slot play together, and you should definitely check out her channel. She does a lot of she doesn't just do like multiplayer video poker. She does slot play too. So she's She's another one that's a lot luckier than we are. So if you like watching people win, you might check her out.
Yeah, she is. She knows her stuff, and
Yeah,
for
she's got
sure.
a whole system. I picked her brain for a while, so
So yeah, if you're not subscribed to her, go check her out too. She's still out there, right?
she is still in Vegas right now, and I believe she has a live stream tomorrow.
Oh
Doesn't she
yeah,
has a live
yeah.
stream tomorrow night at 8 our time. So that's 5 Vegas time.
Hmm.
Yeah, so definitely check her out. Alice in Casino Land.
Uh, Phil, I don't know, man. Um,
I've never done drugs. And Chris hasn't since high school, right?
well,
We
college, yeah.
college. Okay. We've talked about doing something like that, but I don't know. We're in our 40s. Do we really like what's the point? We drink. It's not like we don't have other ways to unwind. I don't know.
Um, yeah, JR Food and Travels, that would be great. Casey, thank you so much. Our favorite hotels, I mean, Cosmopolitan, obviously. Um,
Definitely Cosmo. I mean,
yeah.
there's just you can't beat the balcony. That's the thing is that all of the other places they're awesome. We've been in some really amazing
Hmm.
rooms. I mean, like the Palazzo, was our first trip, and that is an amazing room. But now having been pampered and spoiled by the Cosmo and the balcony, it's a private area outside where you get to watch the fountains and you can just watch, just stare. Chris and I will just sit out there and stare at the lights. And it doesn't matter if it's daytime or nighttime, we just cannot get enough of the view. And that is so important to us at this point, when we want to relax or you get up and you have your coffee, and of course, not coffee from the Cosmo room because they don't have coffee makers. I did think about smuggling my coffee maker from the Flamingo, but we never wound up doing that. We actually walked to the Flamingo every single morning to make coffee, which was kind of a bummer because I really would have liked to enjoy that on the balcony. But anyway, it, there are so many amazing hotels on the strip, but for us, nothing beats the balcony.
Do you want to talk about the hotel? Casey also asked about the hotel rates.
How are the hotel rates? Like I said earlier, I we got a comp from the Cosmo for 3 nights, which is the most number of comps I've ever gotten there. So we upgraded the room to our fountain view for $50 a night. There was the special they were running was no resort fee, so we paid $170 for the 3 nights. Now we booked a timeshare hotel, which is at the Flamingo, but it's the Hilton Grand Vacations, and I think they were running a special to Vegas for like 179 for the whole week. So I mean, when we go out there, we pay hardly nothing for hotels. I mean, the only time we really spent some money staying there was the first trip at the Palazzo. I cannot tell you what we paid, but I'm sure it was crazy money. And also, we had no money to gamble, so we probably spent every last dime that we saved on that room. And then the Cosmo, when we stayed for an entire week, I got a really good deal in it, and I got it through a one of those package places. I think I might have got it on Expedia, so the flight and hotel were included in that price, and I want to say it was under $2,000 for the whole week, including everything, probably except the resort fee, which I'm sure we had to pay. No, because I got it without resort fees, so I felt like that was a really good deal because I had been looking for a long time, and that was the best I could do. So I was happy with it.
Was that the August trip? Was it August when we were there for the whole week
I don't
at
know.
the Cosmo?
I can't remember.
I don't know either.
It feels like it was kind of recent.
I think it was August,
It
yeah.
might have been November, back before COVID. It had to be before COVID. It definitely wasn't during COVID.
Oh, no, no. It wasn't.
No. So it was definitely probably our last trip before COVID, which was November of 2019. Yeah.
Uh,
That was an
thank,
awesome week.
thanks, Phil. We appreciate it. Yeah, once we know the dates of the next trip, we'll definitely let you all know.
Hey, you just gave out your age. Come on, our channel name is the Midlife Ride. I mean, we have to be at least 40, right? You know that.
Nick, we stayed at Hilton Grand Vacations. And to be specific, it's the Hilton Grand Vacations at the Flamingo because there is another Hilton Grand Vacations. We stayed at that one because we've stayed there before, but you can only, because it's out of our network, we can only stay there once every, is it 4 years?
It's 3 or 4 years. I think it's 4 years because we were there about 4 years ago. And it's a really great location. I mean, I have to say, I really enjoyed the first 3 days that we were there, before we headed over to the Cosmo, because when we were so tired and it was, like I was just dead on my feet and we were ready to go home, we were there. Like, I don't even know how it happened because normally we're used to getting so far away from our hotel and then we have to walk like 30 to 40 minutes to get there. And it always seemed like no matter where we wound up at night, we were just right around the corner. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's a really hard location to beat. It doesn't have a casino inside of it, but you are 2 minutes from the inside of the actual Flamingo.
Literally 2 minutes. And you did a room tour of that, but it wasn't live. You have to check out the room tour because if you are a fan of that Flamingo pool, what do they call it? The Go Pool or something like that? Holy cow, this room that we were in, I mean, you had a perfect view of that entire pool. So if you like to people watch, that is a great room to do it in. You can see everything.
As long as the pool's open.
Yes.
It's currently closed.
It's closed.
Stayed at the MGM Grand. We've never stayed there, but we have seen some nice room tours.
I really wanted to stay at the MGM Grand because I think they were maybe it was Park MGM. There were about three, and this goes back to the other question about the room rates. They had 3 M Life properties that were offering like up to 3 comp nights with a $50 food and beverage credit and maybe $10 or $20 in free play. It was a crazy deal. I mean, your room was free because, after you pay their resort fees, it would be a wash. But heck, I mean, that's the best deal I've ever seen.
Where should you stay the second time you go, Stephen? It's Cosmo for us.
We'd always recommend
It's gotta be the Cosmo.
But, you're going to be in Las Vegas. So honestly, anywhere is fine. And especially, let me just say this, we're hardly ever in the room. We get up, I mean, we're like out of the room from like 6 a.m. till midnight. I mean, and that's really on a good day, right? Sometimes we're out later than that or up later than that. So, how much time do you actually get to spend in the room? It really depends on what you're doing. Bye, Mike. Thank you
See
so
you,
much
Mike.
for coming.
Thanks for being here.
It really depends on what you're going to be doing. If you're going to be spending a lot of time in your room, the Cosmo is definitely the way to go. But if you're there to gamble and you're on a limited budget, any of the hotels will do because ultimately you are in Las Vegas and that's the most important thing. I mean, it's like the awesomest place I know. And so any way you can get there and wherever you need to stay, just do it.
I think for me, I would say location is probably more important than the actual room. So being kind of around Center Strip is really where we prefer to be.
Yeah, JR, I understand like the comps are really cool, but if anyone has a way, like I don't know how people I think I saw someone recently got like six nights comped. I've never seen that. Like I've never been offered a whole week comped, and I'm not gonna go hopping from hotel to hotel because that just takes up more of our time, and I feel like we don't have enough time as it is. So, I mean, if any of the chains are willing to give me a whole week comped at a hotel, I'm willing to do it. But it's like you can do maybe 3 nights at an M Life and then switch over to a Total Rewards for 2 nights. And then you have to have 72 hours in between your next offer at M Life. It's like, it's a nightmare trying to figure all that out. Yeah, you only do 4 night trips. Dude, this was a seven night. It was way too short. Like, because of our flight, like we normally have 8 full days and we only had 7. It was just, it wasn't enough. I think that at a minimum, the way we do Vegas, we need 10 days, I think, to feel like we did anything.
Um, but yeah, definitely look into the rewards you have with that card. Um, we make all of our purchases, and I mean everything, like utilities, everything on the Caesars rewards cards. And we rack up a lot of points that we can use in the gift shops and stuff there. And even shows, some
Restaurants.
attractions, restaurants. It definitely see what you have that you can use because you can save a lot of money with those points.
I think you can probably even use your points on rooms, I would think.
Probably.
Yeah, like on your fees.
Al, we have never played slots at the Red Mile. Nope.
No, when you asked before, Al, you're going to Ocean, and that's my dad's favorite casino, so we might see you there.
Ocean is very nice. It's a very nice property for sure.
Yes. Fancy. Vegas feel for sure.
We didn't have any luck there.
We don't have any luck anywhere, so it doesn't matter. It's definitely Vegas feel, right? Because we have no luck.
That sounds like a good deal, Jason.
Yeah, for sure. But can you come? You can't, are you able to travel, Jason, right now?
Um, Mike and Roseanne, we have never stayed at Paris. We really like that property and really want to enjoy playing there. We're just not having any luck at Paris, and that's even after changing our gambling strategy this trip. So where we started having some luck with that new strategy, it was not meant to be at Paris this trip.
I love walking through Paris, though. I love playing there. Some of our favorite restaurants are there. So if we had the opportunity to stay, I think we probably would take it. Definitely.
Yes, Stephen, we played at the Venetian this trip too, and no luck at all.
The Venetian
Yeah.
was just, even our luckiest friend did not have luck there.
And
So
when we say she's
she's
lucky,
crazy lucky.
she has the golden touch. Um, she wins on everything she plays.
And I was like tracking her. I was just like following her and playing everything she was playing at the denomination she was playing, and she won and I didn't. It was just it's just one of those things.
Oh, Julie, that's nice. I've wanted to stay at the Bellagio before.
I love
There's-
playing at the Bellagio. We
We
have
do
the
too.
best video poker machines there. There's only 4 of them. Actually, now there's 3 because they did some renovations while we were there. And the machines always break, and we never get our tickets. And, sometimes we have mean waitresses. But, man, I love that area right next to where they play the piano in the front. Oh my God, it's so relaxing and there's never anyone over there. And sometimes we get good drink service, but sometimes we don't. But I just really love playing there.
Yeah, we hope so too, Jason. We hope so too.
4 nights out of 7.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you rarely win there. Well, it might, I
It's
don't
a
know.
good location though.
We've hit a couple 4 of a kinds on those poker machines, so I'm not giving up yet. I'm not. I won't ever give up on any casino except for the Mirage because, and I don't think I'll even give up on video poker there just yet, but I don't know if you guys has anyone gambled like a lot in the Mirage? We were just looking for Al's machines. So we walked in there to try and find some kind of old-timey slot machine for, 75 max or a $1.50 at the most. We only found one machine in the whole place, and it was in a tiny little unlit corner of the video poker area. Everything else seemed like it was like for high rollers. I don't even know. Like we could not afford to gamble in there for sure.
We did not shop We walked through the Forum shops, but did not. We don't do a lot of shopping in Vegas. And when we do, it's mostly for Vegas Golden Knights gear.
Yeah, that's the only thing we ever buy anywhere. I mean, I don't ever buy anything for myself unless it's got Vegas Golden Knights on
Yeah.
it. And Chris gets lost in the Forum shops almost every time we go in there.
I usually take the wrong turn. I did not take the wrong turn this time.
Because I asked the information counter.
It's the way I was going to go anyway.
Uh-huh.
Who drinks more drink? I do.
Oh, Chris, I'm a lightweight compared to Chris.
Or we work to visit Vegas. I don't know.
Oh, so not between us. We work to visit Vegas. I don't know how much they drink. Here's the thing. Here's why we were going to try to make our own drinks. Because when I'm at home, I make, like a little tiny tea glass, right? Like a half-size glass. Maybe 25% vodka, and then the rest, like lemon lime sparkling water and some lime. 2 of those, and I'm pretty much hammered. Like, I will need a nap. But in Vegas, I can pretty much drink from morning to night and never really even feel a buzz. So we determined there's no alcohol in the drinks there. And this is like mixed drinks, So like, if you get a beer, it's a beer. A beer is a beer is a beer. But I don't really drink beer that much, and like only Guinness, and it gives me a headache usually. So, I just thought, well, I'd save so many calories if I just made my own drinks, because then I would only need 2 and I'd be done for the day. It just didn't happen. It just wasn't convenient. I mean, it's convenient for Chris because it's easy to pour vodka and it's easy to pour bourbon, but it's not easy to mix drinks while you're on the casino floor. It's just not something. Plus, my bag already weighs like 50 pounds from all the water and all the other alcohol. So, next cooking show.
Yeah, Nick, all I can tell you is that I usually need a couple of days afterward to kind of detox. I try not to go overboard because, during all this, we're also trying to shoot video too. So, the next cooking show.
When it snows.
I'm waiting for it to get below freezing. So a day that the high is not above 32, because I want to do a pork butt pulled pork cook when it's below freezing outside. I have one video out there that's done pretty well. I just wanted to make it different, and then I have to redeem myself on the brisket fail video. So those will be the 2 next things, and probably some spare ribs, because we usually do back ribs, but I want to do a spare rib video too. And then we have a couple other videos in the works that have absolutely nothing to do with either of those things. So those will be a surprise.
We're broadening our horizons.
And probably some merch on the way too. Some t-shirts at least. Don't have a timeline on that, but eventually.
Vacation from your vacation, Nick. I can't even tell you how wrecked I was from this trip. Like, we averaged about 4 to 4.5 hours of sleep a night for 7 straight days, and that I felt really good when I got home. Like, the next morning I woke up, I went out, I went to the grocery store, I did laundry, all that, and then like pretty much all day, the rest of the day, Saturday and all day Sunday, Chris and I just took turns falling asleep on the couch while we watched TV. Like, I couldn't do anything. I was so tired. 1988.
Oh, nice.
Gambling and food is better downtown. I know.
The food downtown is excellent.
It is awesome.
But we have never had great luck consistently downtown. We have better luck on the Strip, but the food, there's some amazing places to eat downtown. Absolutely.
I'm sure over time that we would probably have better luck at Fremont and the off-strip casinos, but we just love the Strip. I mean, like, we're willing to lose our money just to be there, honestly. Because whenever we trek off of the Strip, we always... it's a few hours, it's fun to see and everything, but we miss it so much when we're gone. So
yeah. Stephen, we do not have any pets.
I'm not a pet person. I
Right.
don't like to clean, so I don't want anything else that I have to clean up after because I'm kind of a slob myself, truth be told.
And she's not super fond of cats or dogs,
I like
really.
them. I just don't want to smell
You
them or
you
touch
like
them.
some of them.
I do. They're cute. I didn't really grow up with pets, so it's just one of those things. It's not I'm not don't think I'm mean because I don't like pets. Please don't think I'm mean just because of that. It's just not how I was raised and I just don't know them. They're scary kind of.
All right, guys. Any other questions? I think we're going to call it a night.
Did we go through every single
We went
thing?
through every single thing, yeah.
Whatever. Other questions? Hey, so I know a couple of you responded to potentially being our victims. No, letting us interview you because I really have to get this sorted out before our next trip. Like, I want to have a game plan, like a master plan for what we're going to gamble and where and how much. So, I would really like to get at least a handful of you guys to come on and tell us how you do it. And then I'm going to put it into action and see if it works for me. I'm really hoping it works for me because, I don't mind losing, but it's way more fun to win.
And that reminds me, a good place to do that actually. We might put out a community post for you all to comment on, but we also have we'll have a video coming out from this trip, and we shot it before we went to the airport on Friday morning. We went into the Cosmo and dropped $100 in a machine to see what would happen. So
Kind
that
of.
would no, that's
We kind of did.
we did. So you'll be able to see what happens there. Um, thanks, Stephen.
Oh, Steven. Sweet.
I like pets. Just
Chris loves pets. I would
yeah.
get a dog if Chris really wanted one because he's at home, but then what do you do when you have to go on vacation and
Oh, hey, Al's wife.
hey, Cheryl.
Do we have a Facebook page? We have a Facebook page.
There's nothing on it.
To be on
Sorry.
it, Catherine just started using our Instagram account
Yes,
this
follow me
trip.
on Instagram. I just posted a few things. It took me forever because Chris wouldn't show me how to do it.
So it's at the Midlife Ride on Instagram if you want to go follow us there. I don't know. We might eventually make some posts on Facebook too, but to be honest, we're both so busy with work and I'm so busy with the videos that there's just not a lot of time for the extra stuff. But now that I've got her using the Midlife Ride, oh, thanks JR Food and Travels for following us. We'll follow you back.
Thank you.
I should have turned the notifications off of my phone before we started this up, but
That's okay.
I'm glad we got to see it.
Yeah.
Do you watch The Wizard of Oz?
The Wizard of Oz. I have seen that before, but it's been a while.
I know I've heard of it. I've never watched it though. Catherine's the one who like watches the slot play
I'm
and
crazy
the
about
video
slot
poker
play.
play. I watch it some, but she watches it way more than I do.
Yeah. You like more of the cinematic stuff, but I can just seriously watch slot play all day long. I don't care if they're winning or losing. There's something about watching a machine that makes me happy.
Thanks for being here, Julie. Merry Christmas and happy and safe New Year to you too.
Thanks for coming, Julie. Cheryl, it's so nice. I can't believe you have your own account. You both have your separate accounts and you're on together. That's sweet. Can you please show Al how to do Instagram because he says he won't do it for me?
Yeah, I've heard of Wizard of Oz. We'll have to you'll have to make sure you look him
Yeah,
up.
I definitely will. But, it's for me, it's more, I don't know, I think it's more fun to talk to you guys. And even though maybe none of us are like professional gamblers, I'm more of a trial and error. Like I'll go and experiment and I write down everything in my notebook and, just see what works and what doesn't. It's no big deal if it doesn't. It's the fun is in the journey, right? Is how they
Yeah.
say. Like, yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, we have a few videos coming out from this December trip that you want to be on the lookout for. And then after that, we're going to get into some different stuff for a little while just to switch it up and get into the rest of this midlife ride as seen through our eyes. And then we'll also let you all know when we're going back to Vegas again, because I have a feeling that planning is probably going to start this week.
Now,
Yeah.
yes. I'm always plan our next trip as soon as we get home. So we will have that information for you very shortly, I promise.
But thanks so much to everyone for being here, as always. But until next time, we will see you on the next episode of The Midlife Ride.